sustainable ways of living is not abstract anymore. It's increasingly and terrifyingly real. Changing behaviors across the world takes time though, and frankly, it's time we don't have. Our team at VarunaBlue focuses squarely on quick impact by tackling one of the largest polluters in the world, single-use plastics. We do this with the safer, non-toxic and biodegradable plastic made of seaweed, aimed at the Indian market just as they transition away from single-use plastics. The numbers are eye-watering. 300 million tons of plastic is produced every year, and only 2% of this is bioplastic. The remaining 98% often ends up in the oceans as microplastics, where it's eaten by marine life before eventually ending back up on our dinner plates. Along the way, they leave a trail of toxic substances that wreak havoc on the food chain. But ironically, that what is being impacted so strongly might just be its own salvation. Our solution starts right there where we need it the most, in the sea. There are a number of ways to make bioplastics, but harvesting agar from seaweed has some distinct advantages. First of all, it grows up to 60 times as fast as land-based alternatives. It also has a massive carbon impact, capturing as much as 20 times more CO2 than land-based forests do. Most importantly, though, it doesn't need fertile land or fresh water, which are scarce resources in most of the world today. By using algae, this solution becomes scalable to any country in the world with a coastline. So how will we go about this? Well, what you see here is our simple yet efficient green pipeline for the production of non-toxic, biodegradable, and eco-friendly plastic bags. The technology is relatively novel, but composed of ongoing and pre-validated research efforts that are applied by various companies in the world, although not at scale. Our 5-year strategic goals for the future hinge on this technology, but focus on 2 factors in particular. 1, the ability to take these existing processes and produce it at industry scale. And 2, to be able to optimize our existing pipeline and research so that the final product will be dissolvable in saline water specifically. This would make our technology an absolute game changer for both our business model and for our oceans. The major risk to our model is technological as well, though, in that no one has managed to scale. Bioplastics are currently produced using a variety of sources, and if a competitor manages to scale using a different raw material, that may disadvantage us. But with the great variety of possible use, from cosmetics to fertilizers, it would be easy to pivot to other environmentally friendly materials using our existing infrastructure.
With a long history of seaweed farming, particularly on India's southeast coast, a huge domestic market, generous subsidies, and a commitment to going green, India is an ideal market to serve, and Tamil Nadu specifically is the perfect location to launch from. They also recently announced a national ban on single-use plastics beginning next summer, meaning 1.3 billion people will suddenly need an eco-friendly alternative. From the day of funding, we'll be able to deliver proof of feasibility in 90 days, with an MVP in the form of a limited run of one single product shortly after. Longer term, we'd look to have our facilities and farms in-house, but by outsourcing early, we'll be able to meet the growth and demand that'll follow next year's ban on single-use plastics. Globally, the bioplastics market today represents a little over $10 billion US. And in 5 years, it's projected to be just shy of 30 billion, with the packaging segment making up the largest share of that growth by far, driven by stringent environmental regulations, especially in developing economies such as China, India, and Brazil. Our team is globally based, living on 3 different continents and with broad experience in varied and relevant fields. 2 of our members are already in place in India, giving us access to the market, and the other 4 are in Europe with easy access to Europe's thriving startup scene. In our case, our diversity is very much our strength. And of course, our project is focused squarely on the oceans first and foremost. But our proposed method of working with Tamil Nadu's majority female algae farmers to harvest and support their local communities has the potential to touch on at least 6 different SDGs, helping clean the ocean, empower their community, and create value for not only our stakeholders, but for the planet as well.
We believe that seaweed offers a sea of solutions, and we'd love to hear from you.